Nikola Tesla was one of the most influential and imaginative physicists and engineers, yet we do not give him even half the credit that he deserves. Despite his revolutionary work, laying down many fundamental principles of physics and flipping the electrical world on its head with his outstanding and often outlandish inventions, Tesla made close to no money at all for his efforts. Sadly, many other often arrogant inventors took advantage of his creative genius and stole his work for their business ambitions. So here is that story. It was midnight on the 9th or July 10, 1856, when Nikola Tesla was born in the town of Sevillian, which was part of the Austrian Empire and is now part of modern-day Croatia. Nikola's father was an ardent Orthodox priest and placed much pressure upon the young boy to join the priesthood practically from his birth until adolescence. However, Nikola Tesla was by no means an average child, and he dismissed his father's dreams of having a profoundly religious son. His talent lay in his extreme intelligence and creativity. Tesla was one of 5 children, and was inspired to work in electrical science by his stunning mother, who invented household appliances in her spare time. She was living at a time when candles still lit up most of the world, as electrical devices were only just appearing. A pioneer herself, she gave birth to an immensely thoughtful son, who ultimately managed to convince her stubborn husband to give up on his dreams of making Tesla a priest. Instead, Nikola Tesla wanted to study electricity and engineering. Tesla took the first step in this journey by studying at the Real Sherlock Karlstadt in Germany, the Polytechnic Institute in Graz, Austria, and the University of Prague in the 1870s, when Tesla's uncle arranged for him to work in the Central Telephone Exchange of Budapest. The Serbian inventor made his first influence on the world, improving the telephone exchange's equipment and developing an ample find-your-device while taking a stroll. Nikola Tesla conceived the idea of a brushless electric motor powered by an alternating electric current. Most of the world at that point was using direct current, as alternating current systems had yet to take storm when one of Tesla's professors in Croatia told him that it would be impossible to create a motor powered by an alternating current. Nikola acquired an insatiable determination that proved the professor wrong. It took 2 strenuous years of endless experiments and tinkering before he managed to create a rotating magnetic field that could keep a motor moving without using direct current. Nikola Tesla practically designed and pioneered the first alternating current systems in 1882. He moved to Paris and was employed by the Continental Edison Company to repair direct current power plants, and 2 years later, he traveled to New York to be hired as an engineer at the Thomas Edison Manhattan headquarters. When Nikola Tesla arrived in the Big Apple to present his genius plan of using alternating current to Thomas Edison, he rejected his ideas harshly. Tesla was instead told to continue work on Edison's existing direct current systems. Thomas Edison may be an idol of electrical science. He was often heartless and took advantage of Tesla. In numerous times, Edison made a false promise to Tesla that he would pay him $1 million if he could think of a better dynamo system. Dynamos convert rotational kinetic energy to electricity. When Tesla presented his powerful solution created with blood, sweat, and tears, Edison laughed in his face and rebuked him, saying, "Tesla, you do not understand our American humor." It was sort of the last straw for Tesla. The poor reward for his hard work was certainly not helping Nikola Tesla's mental struggles. He had a long list of phobias and was extremely compulsive. Today, we theorize that he suffered from aught. In his 20s, Tesla was struck by a detrimental nervous breakdown which eventually made him hypersensitive to minute details, such as the ticking of a clock or a ray of light. Perhaps Tesla's nervousness powered him forward with his theories. He had an impeccable photographic memory and can do calculus problems in his head. It is a shame that he was being taken advantage of by Edison. After leaving Edison's company for his boss's failure to pay him, Tesla hit rock bottom and dug ditches for a living. He allegedly made only $2 per day doing this. Tradition has it that as he was digging these ditches, a group of investors confronted him and funded work on a low-cost arc lamp. the invention was successful and made the investors money, but Tesla gained barely anything from the ordeal and was ultimately kicked to the curb with no pay again. Meanwhile, however, Thomas Edison was in fierce competition with George Westinghouse, another engineer and businessman. Westinghouse realized that a successful and efficient alternating current system might give him the business edge over his competitor. Edison had been distributing power and direct current cables to the streets of New York. But Westinghouse, his eyes were on Nikola Tesla. Realizing his potential, Westinghouse hired Tesla, hoping to build something with Tesla's alternating current ambitions. Westinghouse also bought the patent rights to Tesla's dynamos, transformers, and motors in 1885. Edison proclaimed that invention was 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, but Nikola Tesla, on the other hand, was very much driven by his inspiration. Occasionally, you would work from 10 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock a.m. the next morning. However, it was not monotonous work. He was continually looking for ways to convert his imagination into powerful ways to change the world. Nikola predicted that in the future electricity would connect the whole world like a huge brain, and that spectators could watch events and chat with friends wirelessly. He described self-driving cars and robots, and he even predicted that future cars would be able to make decisions for themselves. Moreover, he theorized that there would be remote control machines or drones in the future. Tesla was responsible for several earthquake-sized breakthroughs in the transfer and transmission of electric power 15 years before Robert Watson Watt. Nikola Tesla came up with the idea of radar. He engineered countless inventions and made a long list of improvements to existing technologies, including dynamos and induction motors. He invented the Tesla coil, which was used in radio technology. Guy Alimony based his radio devices on the equipment designed by Tesla. Years later, Tesla used the coil to study radio X-rays, electromagnetism, and wireless power. The Tesla coil was demonstrated to audiences in New York in 1890, and he utilized a polyphase alternating current to create a high-voltage transformer, releasing extremely bright and high-voltage sparks and lightning bolts. It was an impressive sight to behold. Tesla coins are now often used for entertainment purposes and have seen action in many significant concerts. It was not the only coil he made. Tesla also created a magnifier coil designed to raise the frequency and voltage of electricity. Throughout his many years of working with electricity in an eccentric manner, Nikola Tesla built himself up a reputation for being a mad genius. He was a lonely but determined pioneer of physics, electricity, and engineering. Fascinatingly, he seldom worked in any large laboratories, preferring to develop his inventions in his small laboratories. His ideas were mostly his own, inspired by the principle of electromagnetic induction laid down by physicist Michael Faraday in the 1830s. Nikola Tesla managed to control a boat remotely using electromagnetic waves. In 1904, he developed a capable bladeless turbine, but it was ultimately missing a commercial use. At the time, this invention was even more amazing when one considers that even after Tesla traveled 50 miles away from his laboratory in New York, the electromagnetic waves were still readable. In addition to all of this, he created lamps filled with glowing neon gas, and was one of the first to propose wind, solar, and geothermal energy, helping to create one of the very first power plants. He partnered with General Motors to install alternating current power generators at Niagara Falls. Nikola Tesla made countless poor legal and financial decisions. This resulted in other inventors, engineers, and business people stealing and patenting his work. Mostly Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse. Tesla just did not correctly understand the value of his work or how to sell it and run a business. That does not mean he did not try. When Tesla partnered with two other business people to found the Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing Company and obtained funding for the endeavor in 1885, his former employer Thomas Edison became his rival. Edison managed to dominate the propaganda war against Nikola Tesla, despite Tesla's revolutionary inventions and work. This is one of the main reasons why Tesla is less known today, and why his scientific contributions went unrecognized for years. Sadly, he could not become financially successful from his inventions, unlike Thomas Edison, who knew how to operate a company. Nikola Tesla is a less familiar and less recognized name than the other pioneers of electricity, physics, and communication such as Edison, Albert Einstein, and Alexander Graham Bell. When Tesla returned in New York in 1899, the scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. He does not expect that his advanced ideas would be readily taken up. His work is like that of a planter for the future. His duty is to lay the foundation for those who are to come and point the way he lives and labors and hopes. Please hit the like button if you enjoy the video, and subscribe if you want us to create more videos like this video.